That didn't take long. Afternoon. Look, we're still assessing him. We'll make a call later on this afternoon to make sure that he's okay. He's still struggling with his ribs and his shoulder a little bit, but hopefully he can get through hitting some balls now and see how he goes this afternoon.
Russell, apart from obviously that fantastic win in New Zealand at the start of the year, the team's forward just hasn't been great. I mean, for you, what would you realistically expect as a measure of success in this match? Obviously, win it, but realistically, what would be the success for that?
Look, I know in terms of the results, the test side hasn't been good. We've lost a lot of test matches, but in terms of the way the games have gone and the competitive nature of it, I think there have been some big improvements in it. We know we're up against a really good Indian side here, in conditions that they're not that dissimilar to or not that unfamiliar with. Every series we play, we try and win, there's no doubt about it. And it's a home series, so my expectation is for us to be competitive, try and get the games into the fifth day, try and find a win on the fifth day. There's no doubt about that. We don't go into any games playing to not win. So realistically, I think we've got a chance. We can beat them if we play really well. We've done it for periods of time in test series over the last year, but not for long enough. So we know it's a tough series. I'm under no false illusions, but I'm expecting us to be very competitive and hopefully push India really hard in this series.
And you were talking about big improvements. I mean, can you describe what some of those?
Yeah, look, I think number one, going to South Africa, I think that first test match in South Africa where we restrict bowled South Africa out twice, we were chasing 270 and then got caught out in the last session. We were very much in that particular test match. I think that we lost the test series to the West Indies in Bangladesh, but they got 395 on day 4 when we didn't take our referrals, lost by 15 runs in the second test. So a lot of the games have had swings that have been really close. I think Liton Dus's performance in the test matches, he's come good. Taskin's been fantastic. Eberdot's stepped up. So there have been a lot of really good positives for us. Mamadou Hassan Joy's 100 in South Africa. So there have been a lot of positives and a lot of good performances. It's just stringing those performances together consistently, session after session, that has sometimes been the challenge for us.
Coach, specifically mentioning Mominul, Joy and Shanto. Obviously there hasn't been a lot of runs in the longer format cricket for them in the run-up to this test match, especially Mominul and Joy didn't score a lot of runs against India as well. Is there a concern, and what have you seen of them here?
Look, the challenge with when you're only playing one for like Mominul and Hassan's last international game maybe 6 months ago now, and that's the challenge when you're only playing one format. A lot of guys, Saqib, Liton, they're playing week in, week out, they're playing international cricket, so it's not a big step up when they play domestic games, so that is a challenge for those one format players. Look, I know they might be short of runs, but they're actually looking really good the way they're playing at the moment. And I know the currency is runs, you got to get runs, but in terms of technically and the way they're playing, they're actually looking pretty good touch at the moment. I know Joy in particular has got a lot of starts, a lot of 20s, faced 50 balls and then got out. So it's just about finding that tempo and making sure that when you do get in international cricket, is finding that big score, because technically they both look in a good place at the moment.
Shanto?
Well,
Shanto, as in, he had another shot at that one-day series, he really scored runs, and this year hasn't been great for him.
yeah, look, he showed some really good signs in the test maybe a year and a half ago. He got 200s, one against Sri Lanka. And batting in the top order for young players, it's a tough position. Joy, if you had to ask Joy where he'd like to bat, he'd probably say 3 or 4, because I don't think he's always been a natural opener. I know Zakir is coming into test squad now. I think he's only opened 8 or 9 times, so he'd also prefer to probably bat 3 or 4 type of thing. So it's about being patient with those young players, particularly at international level. I mean, opening the batting 1, 2 and 3 in test match cricket, probably the hardest job in international cricket. So we've got to be patient with these young boys. Hopefully they start repaying some of the faith and give us something to hang on to as coaches and selectors, because that's ultimately what you want. Excuse me, sir. Hi, sir.
2015, Bangladesh lost 6 home series in test, most by any team. Do you, as a coach, do you think Bangladesh can't take home advantage, or they didn't utilize home conditions well as they are in ODIs?
Yeah, look, it's a tricky one because I'm generally wanting us to play on good wickets so that our cricket can improve. And I think part of that probably led to us doing really well in New Zealand in that one test match. I'm always very nervous about preparing wickets that are massively over the top because I don't think it benefits any of our game in the long term. If you're looking for results right now, I mean, you could prepare raging turners, but that brings India into the game just as much. So it's a very difficult situation we find ourselves in. We want to